Slick, you got this. Power through. We're watching. We're all waiting for you. Now, it's time for us to recap. Your motivation will be my recapping skills. Okay, so you guys got to
Okay.
learn something extremely important. Okay, we're going to go over today. I'm going to go through Midnight Open. Not even Midnight Open. I'm going to go look for 8:30 Open because we did have CPI, which, as you can see, CPI hit pretty volatile. And this made us
Did you?
extremely bullish. Okay, back to recap. You guys are going to learn Power 3. This is extremely important for you. I'm going to go over my analyst channel. Привет. Привет, привет. Okay. I'm distracted. Здравствуйте. Okay, let's go. Boom. Let's see what my analysis was. So CPI dropped the nuke. The first thing I wanted, every single time I traded CPI, I always look for a return into discount. And especially because I'm looking at a profile. If I go exactly back to October, if I go to October of last year, this is exactly what the market looks like. I will go there right now just to prove it to you. October of last year, this is exactly what the market was doing. It was pushing up higher. What was this? No, this is December. Where's our October at? Right here. Look, this is exactly what was happening. Pushing up higher, some CPI release, and guess what we did? Retraced perfectly into discount and continued pushing up higher every single time. So this is what we're doing right now. I think it's just a fractal move. So first thing I want to look for, retrace into, what was it called? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, it was a retrace into equilibrium, and that's exactly what we got, and that's how we could have framed our first trade of the day off of. So this initially, I always go from the higher time frame, looking for my higher time frame narrative. Without that, I will not be taking a trade. I will not look for a trade. That's how it always goes with me. I do not look for a trade unless we have a higher time frame narrative, which is this. And going back on my power 3, what is this? I think every single one of you guys can appreciate how clean this power 3 is. Look at this accumulation, then let's look at this manipulation lower. We barely tapped, yeah, that's right. We barely tapped this fair value gap right here. See how we barely tapped into it and we started pushing up higher? This is almost perfect what we're looking for. So you couldn't have really framed an entry off of here, but just at least you're journaling, learning about power 3. Your only entry off this, I'm not even going to be looking for an entry. But just as a little disclaimer or whatever we could go off of, I would usually look for some type of breaker in this range right here. And that's what I'd take a trade off of, and my stop would be this low. But I don't trade CPI, that's way too risky. I've been stopped out so many times. So back to our higher time frame narrative. Always on the 5-minute, 15-minute, around that time. Look at this fair value gap, plus retracement into our discount. This is really important for you guys to know. Yeah, this guy's tweaking. Bro. Okay, so once we return to our discount, all we have to do, I look for an inversion fair value gap. And as you can see right here, so many people, I gave this signal to one of the kids in my class. So many people have been DMing me appreciating this play. You guys need to see this. Look at this inversion fair value gap on the 1 minute when we start pushing up higher after returning into a discount. When we have this, this is 100% a trade I would be looking to take. Look at when we tap back into it, my stop would be consequent encroachment, 8 handle stop, and I'd be targeting out this 53 handle high, or 55, my bad, 55 handle high. This would have been a perfect trade to take, and I want to try using our standard deviations on our manipulation link just to see if we have any type of projections. So, of course, this isn't really going to project as accurate, but we have our original standard deviations that we're looking out for. Oh yeah, we just blew straight past that. There's no point. Let me see on the hourly if we have anything we could anchor our standard deviation onto. Because this, honestly, we don't really have much. I could try going from the low to the high, but I wouldn't ever use standard deviations. I always look for it in power 3. Yeah, there's no hope. And today was something called a buy program. And yeah, it is the silver bullet to an extent. I'm going to look at the time frames to show you if there was a silver bullet. Oh yeah, there probably was. If it tapped into consequent encroachment of this one perfectly. No, we didn't. You could have still taken this off the fair value gap. This could also be considered a BPR, a balanced price range, right here. But I just called it an inversion because it fits the narrative. We retraced and the bearish PD arrays fail. And we ran out this low. And we have this higher time frame fair value gap that we are inside. So all this lines up perfectly for longs right here. This would have been a perfect play. That I know is a fact I would have taken if I wasn't a FIAD. But yeah, 10 p.m. first fair value gap that we tap into. You could have held out this for the silver bullet. So congratulations, that was a silver bullet. We had BPR. I would have personally used inversion because I feel like that had more merit. And yeah, we pushed through this retrace. That would have been a nice play. And as you can see, today was it was a clean buy program. And buy program means, I think the best way to put it, you're not going to get an entry, but the market is going to keep pushing up in one direction. This is parabolic. If you guys knew my prediction, all the way from down here, I was talking about if we got past this high, we were going to have a parabolic run to all-time highs. And what happened? That's exactly what we got. I told you guys that this was going to happen. So our one chance of going lower was right here. When we failed it, I already knew when we run up this high, we are going to have a parabolic run, which is this buy program, higher. And this is exactly what happened. Anyone who will have held buys out for today from that fair value gap, 258 ends. You'd be rich. Generational wealth right there for anyone trading multiple funded accounts. I'm serious. Your kids would be eating, they'd be driving Bugattis, everything. So, I mean, at least if you guys are able to realize and appreciate some of the standard deviations in play, not standard deviations, I mean the market maker buy model. That's what I meant to say. As you can see right here, I predicted this entire market maker buy model from the bottom and this epitomis, or whatever you want to call it, of the parabolic run. And especially when we were above all-time highs, you know what's probably going to happen? We were probably going to rush straight up. We were probably going to push straight up higher. So, keeping that in mind, I gotta fix my camera, messed it up. We want to be looking for buys. We want to be looking for longs. I think Valid said Wednesday was going to be high a day, so I want to see if that holds true. I still think we have a lot higher to go. So let's look for any type of entries within our time frames where we could have found something to take a trade off of. So I'm going to section out, and we are going to completely ignore our lunch hours because never trade lunch. Trust me on that. You never want to. I've traded a few times. I've won a few times, but it is not something that you can consistently trade. And let's look for what we got when we pushed outside of it. So, of course, a lot of people would be looking for a 130 Judas a run here, which I don't personally trade anymore. I did do a ton of research into it. I don't really believe in it that much anymore. But, I mean, IOFEDs would probably be your way to go here. Looking for any type of high with this. I mean, this run lower, this would be considered a breaker. So, outside of the time frame, you would have had a unicorn to take an entry off of. So, let's just mark this out right here. Plus, you have this fair value gap. Boom. So this high, before the sweep of this low, this is a breaker block. Keeping this in mind, we have this fair value gap. And our entry would be have consequent encroachment of the unicorn fair value gap. Because this entire high right here, I could actually do this if you guys want. This right here, this is where we want to be looking for an entry off of. And I'm going to do this as like a sectional play. Right here, we enter have consequent encroachment of this fair value gap. And look at how tight that is. And our stop, me personally, I most likely would have had my stop right here at the end of the breaker. Just because it's 4 handles, and it would have been such a low-risk trade. I would have just taken it. And where could we have taken profits at? So what do we look for after we run out of low? What would I put on if we sweep out a low, if we have a manipulation like lower? Someone tell me. I need someone to tell me. What do we use?
Oh, standard deviation.
Yeah, that's right. Standard deviations. Thank you. Who's calling me? Oh, shoot. Someone's FaceTiming me. It'll have to wait. So, inside of a buy program, we would have been targeting out our 4th standard deviation. So, 4th standard deviation, that would have been our take profit. And, hold up. Give me 1 second. So, 4th standard deviation would have been our target. You would have got a nice 49 handles from catching the buy model. And as long as you're not looking for shorts, because you are not going to, what was it called? Find it. You're not going to find a trade. And the breaker, I do, for me, whichever the highest high is, the candle the highest high, I typically just do the wicks, but in most scenarios, I do the body, I do this. So it just depends on what it looks like. If I'm on the 1 minute, I do the entire candle. If I'm on the 3 minute, I do specifically the low or the open of the candle. I mean, not the open, the close of the candle. But typically always do the high, okay? Even if it closes bearish, you always want to go for the high. Because on the second chart, that's what it's looking like. Okay. And let's see if we had anything else. Another thing you could have looked for was a bullish 2 p.m. silver bullet, but seeing this chop, I always like to scale out if you're ever considering taking a trade, because always remember higher time frame narrative. That's key of trading. You see the 5 minute and you see this, it's over. Your trading day is done. You do not want to take any plays. But, I mean, this could have been, yeah, that's right, that's right. Okay, let's mark something out real quick. We have this fair value gap that was respected inside the silver bullet times. 5 minute silver bullet right here. This is the, how do I say this? This is the 1 silver bullet at M250 cal. One of the guys. Let's see if he's in the call. He's not. But this is the first model I taught him. And this is the 5 minute silver bullet. You enter off consequent encroachment. 5 minute fair value gap. First one that we tap into during the silver bullet times. Your stop is 15 handles precisely. So 15 handle stop loss. And you target out the high. Which, this is outdated. I should update this. Because I think this is just a 1 to 2. Yeah, this is ridiculous. But you could have put stop mean threshold of the order block. Which is what I always do. So, if you would have been targeting out this high for 5 minutes silver bullet, this would have been perfect. I made a complete video on this model. But, you can see it's starting to run out of energy, starting to run out of momentum. Any more PM session trades? Because I think most of you guys can actually realize. Look at this. What is this right here after we had power 3 right here? Power 3 right here. What happens right here?
Accumulation.
Accumulation. Then what's this?
Manipulation.
Manipulation. And what do we manipulate into?
The fair value gap.
And what else?
Discount.
Yeah, we manipulate into a discount. What are we looking for now?
Longs.
Yeah, we're looking for long. Exactly. That's exactly what you guys need to learn. And I figured out where we put our standard deviations right here. And you can see we tapped into it. And this is where we started reversing and rejecting. We had our little retracement. 2 to 2.5 is our reversal. Or, no, it's reversal or retracement. There we go. And yeah, you want to do it on this manipulation leg of the power of 3. Perfect. So we got to figure it out. And 1 to 1.5, this is our silver bullet. Ah, what happened? Okay. I mean, yeah, we don't have anything else to go over. That's literally just the basics of today. I hope you guys learned something. I think most of you did. Hopefully. You guys learned something?
I did.
Perfect.
I did.
That's what you guys need to know. Yeah, clap it up.
I can also tell that I'm getting better.
Good. I'm glad you guys are learning.
I showed Slick that power 3 that you just talked about.
Bro, good. You guys, I'm going to make you guys my best students. You guys, whoever shows up to these recaps consistently, you guys are going to excel. Trust me on that. You guys are going to do absolutely insane. Alright, you guys feeling
Yes. Yeah.
Alright, let's go. I do these recaps every single night, other than Friday. Every single night I'm here at 10 p.m. Or 11 New York time. And I always upload them on YouTube. Every single night for the past weekdays. Hold up, let's see this. How long have I been doing this for? Okay, I trade what I see most of the time, but my specific model is 100% the market maker models, because you can always be finding market maker models, and I always love to use them for higher time frame narrative. And I also look at the 2022 model. But power 3, when I have clear higher time frame narrative, that is where I start looking for an entry. If I don't have higher time frame narrative, I do not look for a trade, because if you're on the 5 minute and you only trade the 5 minutes strictly, you could just mark out this breaker block right here, draw it out, look for this fair value gap, and take an entry off of it. Because this is also considered a unicorn. So for whoever wanted to be looking for a trade on the higher time frames, this would have been a really good play for you. For the people who want to take a slower approach to trading, you can trade off this, and you would still be able to maintain a good risk to reward. Stop under the order block, or you can still go mean threshold. Unicorn right here, just as an example. And I've been doing these recaps for, let's go back, let's go far back. 5 months. Okay, 6 months, I guess. 6 months. Yeah, bro, I've been watching him. He's on my other monitor right now. He's boxing it up. Oh, shoot, my camera's going. Okay, do we have any other questions? Anything you guys want to go over?
Slick, you're on TV.
You're on TV.
You're on TV, bro.
Live TV.
I would beat his ass.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, shut up.
He
You're
knows
like
it too. Look at him.
Oh.
Bro, look at him, bro.